I never planned on coming here, but life doesn't ask for permission, especially when it throws a sudden job transfer letter in your face. I had to relocate from Walana to an unfamiliar state, and with no time to search properly, I took the first rental house I found. A small, quiet place at the end of a narrow street. It looked ordinary, maybe a little old, a little cold, but nothing that warned me it was hiding someone, not outside, but inside the walls. The first night was simple, unpacking, settling in, trying to adjust. Then, around 2 a.m., I heard a soft knock inside the wall behind my bed. I brushed it off, but the second night, the knock came again. 3 slow, perfectly spaced taps, and after the last one, a faint whisper slipped out, too soft to understand, too close to ignore. By the third night, the signs grew stranger. The wall felt warm, as if someone breathed behind it. The vent had scratch marks, and a single strand of long brown hair stuck in the screws. Someone had lived here before me, and they didn't leave peacefully. The next day, I asked the neighbor across the street, and her face drained. "A beautiful young woman lived there before you," she whispered. "Too kind, too trusting." One night she screamed and nobody saw her again. Don't go looking for her. But warnings don't kill curiosity, they strengthen it. That evening, while cleaning behind the bed, a small leather diary slipped out from the baseboard. It belonged to her, Lena. Her early entries were full of excitement, hope, and peace. Then the tone shifted. "I hear breathing in the walls. Someone whispers my name. The landlord says I imagine things. I'm afraid to sleep." Her final line dragged mid-sentence as if someone pulled the pen away. He said the walls belonged to him. Tonight, and then it ended abruptly. That night, the knocking returned, but this time a deep voice whispered, "She was beautiful. She slept right here. You look like her." I froze. It didn't just remember Lena, it compared me to her. I confronted the landlord, and the moment I mentioned Lena, something cracked inside him. "You shouldn't stay in that room." "He gets attached," he whispered, and shut the door like someone who'd already accepted he couldn't stop what lived in that house. That night, desperate for answers, I placed my phone near the vent to record the sounds. At 3:17 a.m., a metallic click jolted me. The screws on the vent were turning from the inside. Pale, bony fingers scraped the metal as a voice whispered, "She fought me. You won't." I ran to the living room with the diary and phone. When I replayed the audio, Lena's voice trembled softly. "Please, help me," followed by a deeper, broken tone growling, "Mine." She wasn't haunting the house. She was still inside the walls, with him. I should have left immediately, but something inside me needed to understand what happened. The next morning, I went to the town library to check old records. That's where I found Lena's photo in a missing person file. Same long brown hair, same soft eyes, and a small note. Disappeared from rental property. Last heard screaming. What terrified me wasn't the file. It was the comment written below it. Previous tenant in same house also reported strange activity in walls. Case unresolved. It wasn't just Lena. Someone else before her had experienced the same thing. When I returned that evening, the house felt colder, heavier, like it sensed what I had learned. As I walked past the bedroom, I heard someone humming inside the wall, a soft female voice. Lena. The melody was broken, shaky, like she was humming just to remind herself she still existed. I stepped closer to the wall and whispered her name. For a moment, the humming stopped, and her faint voice answered, "Don't let him take you." A sudden thud slammed the vent from inside, and the house fell silent. I gathered my bag and keys, ready to run, but something pulled me back, Lena's diary lying open on the floor. The last page had changed. There was a new line, written in fresh handwriting. "He knows you're leaving. Don't turn off the lights." My breath froze. I didn't write that. And Lena couldn't. Not from outside. Only from inside the walls. The lights flickered. The house moaned. Something shifted behind the plaster like it was crawling toward the door. I backed into the hallway as the vent rattled violently. Then, slowly, the creature's face emerged. Sunken eyes, stretched skin, a smile that didn't belong to a human. In the hollow dark, Lena's frightened face appeared. Her lips trembled. "Run." The creature extended its hand toward me, whispering, "You look like her." I didn't wait. I ran barefoot into the night, diary in hand, never looking back.